Do you see the CPC as the governing party of China had the ability to conquer these challenges and uncertainties given the role it has played in the economic development of China?
I do. CPC has guided China to the right path, in my opinion, and has overcome many challenges that people would not believe, especially Westerns. They would not believe that China would arrive where it arrived. We need to remind always that China comes in the last 50 years from a very uh, poor state. Many people would considering, and you probably heard this expression, the sick man of Asia. Okay, so China was a very poor country with a lot of difficulties, a lot of constraints, and in my opinion, with the leadership of the CPC, China is slow, bit by bit, overcome all the difficulties that was ahead of China, and that's very important. So I'm very I trust, and I'm very faithful to what CPC has done in China. I believe there is four factors that describe China, and I have been talking to a lot of people on this. The first one is leadership, and the leadership comes from the CPC. Okay, and that's very important because in many countries, and we can see now during the pandemic, the world is lacking leadership. There is nobody that calls the responsibility for itself and say, that's my responsibility, that's what I'm going to do, and that's how I'm going to deliver it. And I think CPC has done that, have been doing that for the last, I would say, 4 decades. So I think not from the academic perspective, but the practical perspective, there is not one single person that I ask in China that they have over 40 years old, they don't say my life changed upside down, so for good, and that's very important. The achievements also in terms of poverty alleviation, rural revitalization, urbanization, improving the common prosperity of the Chinese people are there. The numbers, they don't lie. So despite if you like or you don't like a communism or socialist model, in the case of China, it works and works very well. So I believe leadership is the first. The second is education. Basically, the CPC plan the country in a way that they understand for the development, education is a key milestone. And that's why I think the Chinese society learned that education is a priority. That's why 30% of the income of the Chinese families goes to education.
Mhm.
The third element for me is faith on the system. I think it's when you work with public policy, when you do policies and people they don't agree or they don't trust your policies, it's very difficult. So I think the third element is the faith that Chinese people have in the guidance and the leadership of the CPC, and the fourth element is the culture, how this culture was built and developed.
This is CGTN Radio. Hear the difference.